I want to start today's video with a piece of good news, which is that the worst is over. Your exam is over, and that's the worst part of the entire CAT prep, and I'll tell you why. Number one, you can't fight for yourself. If you marked answer A and the option is answer C, you can't go back to the paper setting body, especially in VARC. This happens a lot. You can't go and tell them, but I thought I perceived and interpreted this passage in this way. Nobody cares. If your interpretation does not match the paper setter's interpretation, you are doomed. Okay? But in an interview, you are free to have a different opinion, and it is still okay, because you can justify as long as you're doing it with conviction, confidence, and a sense of logic and rationality. Okay? So you are free to have a different opinion as long as you are tactful about how you present it and you have the necessary facts to bolster your argument. Okay? So that's the most important thing to remember. The second thing is that an interview is all about you. So, and you are the best person to know about yourself. The interviewer knows nothing about you apart from your SOP, maybe, if there is one, or the first question, which is tell me something about yourself. So you are free to steer the interview in any direction you want to. You have the ability to decide which direction you want this interview to go in. So always remember that. Now today's video is going to be about how not to write a shitty SOP. But before that, I want to take a brief moment to talk about a small update in my life, which is that I will be working with Cat King as a mentor. I will also be taking their online lessons for current affairs with respect to your MBA prep, and classes will be starting soon in a week or so. And if you're interested, I will take you through the portal, which is going to be the next segment of the video, and I will show you what the portal looks like. So if it's something that vibes with you, it's something that you are looking for and you think you're going to benefit out of, please, I highly urge you to join, and we can have a nice chat. Which I know it's not like I'm Shah Rukh Khan or something, but I'm saying it'll be nice to have a good chat with you guys. And yeah, I will then take up from where we left off, and we'll talk about how not to write a shitty SOP. So I'm sure you can see what's on your screen, but I want to bring to your attention that there is a huge repository of previous year's information. So this could be an SOP, this could be a what topic, it could be an interview transcript, or most commonly asked questions based on your specialization. So suppose you're applying to XLRI HR, you should know the basics of HR, right? And if you're applying to XLRI, it is important that you prepare especially for the ZAT, and you prepare college specific answers, and you can't just regurgitate something you're saying at your IIM interview. So it is important that you understand that every college has its own tricks, has its own set of questions, a pattern that they follow, and when you see information across years of the same kind, you will pick up on those patterns. You will know that अच्छा ठीक है, XLRA में ऐसे सवाल पूछे जाते हैं और IIMA में ऐसे सवाल पूछे जाते हैं ज़्यादातर. Like there's a very common saying that IIM Indore asks a lot of math questions. It happened with me also. I'm a non-engineer. So that sort of information becomes clearer when you look at large chunks of past year's information, and that's where I think this becomes really handy. And yeah, I hope to see some of you guys there. It'd be lovely to see you. So what is an SOP? SOP is statement of purpose. ये तो Google करके भी पता चल जाएगा. My point of this video today is how to not write a bad SOP. So what goes wrong in an SOP? Quite often two things can happen. Either one, it's too generic, or it's too emotional and it's an autobiography. The idea is to do neither. Okay? The first thing is that it should not be a templatized answer. It's not that if I change Rahul to Sohail or to Suresh, the answer still sounds the same. It should not make sense if I change the name, because it has to be unique to you. So what do I mean by that? I mean that don't just talk about the generic stuff that everyone talks about. Don't say I had a 10 CGPA in my 10th, I had 95% in my 12th, I did my undergrad from this NIT, and then I got an IT job, I hosted this fest, I was coordinator of team finance in this fest. Nobody cares. Talk to me about how you are unique. Why is your profile different from Sohail or Suresh or whoever exists in the pool, competition pool? Why is your profile important to me? Why should I care about you? That is the most important thing. But when people try to do this, they make it an autobiography. They start pouring their heart out. They start talking about their SOP stories, which is fine. I understand we're all going through struggles that we don't speak about. But this is not the place to trauma dump, right? Always remember that your reader is not your therapist. So make sure you don't start, wallowing in self-pity, or you start talking about the tragedies in your life. What you can do, however, is if you have a character defining moment, which could be both positive or negative, spin it in a positive light. Even if you, I will just give you a random example, okay? Suppose you failed class 7, okay? And then you picked yourself up, you had to repeat the year, and then you went to your dream engineering college, and now you got a 99th percentile, you're applying to IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, any of the top IIMs or XLRI, and there you can talk about this. Because it is a powerful moment in your life. It shows resilience, it shows strength. So always ask yourself, if you're quoting a life example, what does this show about me? Does it show that I'm a strong person? Does it show that I can handle stress? Does it show that I'm a resilient person? If the answer is yes, then mention it. Okay? Because the interviewer or the reader wants to know, why should I consider you over anybody else? And how are you going to add value to my classroom? Right? The most important question is that they don't want two people of the same kind. So it is important that you stand out, and you stand out in a positive way. So it is very, 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 very essential that you talk about the factors that make you you, and don't make it generic. Never make it generic. And this was something that was told to me by one of my mentors when I was doing my GDPI prep, and it was revolutionary for me, because I realized that quite often I just talk about the generic stuff which all of us are doing. If you're writing an MBA, you have a 90 plus percentile, your profiles are more or less the same. सबके CGPA 10 होते हैं या फिर 9 के above तो होते ही है. Of course there are exceptions, and you could be one of them, and you could write about it. I'm of course not stopping or dissuading anyone, but I'm just telling you what not to do. A shitty SOP is the one which is generic. Never make it generic. So always add that personal touch, and of course hygiene factors are there. Talk about you have to write it in good grammar. No need for flowery language. Ye sab to sab pata hai. You will find this on the internet. But what I wanted to nail home today is really just the fact that you have to make it personal. Talk about your life, but talk about it in a positive way. Don't turn it into a sob story. That's it. Done. Bye.